Hey friends, Stacy here with Kzoo Keto, and I have a new recipe for you. I stumbled across this one night. I was making dinner after work and I didn't want to put a whole lot into it. So I was like, let's just see what's laying around the kitchen and throw it together. Surprisingly, I got good reviews from the kids. I can't remember if Greg even got any. Anyway, I had said something in a previous video about showing this recipe to you guys once we got more of this, which we now have. And I'm actually going to double it because there's a few more people here today than there was when I made it before, because I think before it was just myself. Greg and Adam were off doing something, and then Emily came and she really liked it, and then Morgan stepped by and really liked it. So I think Greg got a piece, but it wasn't very big. Even Adam made it. So I'm going to call this my easy weeknight Mexican casserole. Eggs, low carb, Craig's baking mix, or any other keto baking mix. We'll put a link for what we use down below. Some kind of meat, taco seasoning, butter, green chilies, shredded cheese, and salsa if you prefer. You're going to need to set your oven to 375 degrees. After preheating the oven, you want to get your pan ready. So I have a 9x13 glass dish. Everybody knows that I don't like to clean stuff that I don't have to clean, or I don't like to put it in the dishwasher. So I got some parchment paper. I scrunched it all up so it wouldn't be stupid, or as stupid, and just stick it down in there. I know people say you can get it wet and it should stick, but I can't find the right ratio of wetness to non-wetness. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. So how do we make it? This is why it's so easy, because I have leftover taco meat from yesterday, actually. So Mexican 2 days in a row. Leftover taco meat, so I don't even have to use the taco seasoning because it's already seasoned, and that's why it's so easy. So then we're just gonna make up these real quick. And they require a 1/4 cup of butter cold. And I chop it up into really thin little slices, and each bag is 2 beaten eggs. So this is the mix that we use. It's Lidlo brand. We get it on Amazon. We actually have a monthly subscription for it because it's great. Do we get 1 or 2 a month? We get 2 a month. We usually use them for biscuits, and I just started venturing into using them in other food recipes. But link below if you're interested in getting these. Otherwise, if you have some other sort of biscuit mix that you use, feel free to use that. Oven's ready. Feel free to use that, and I think it would probably work just fine. Once you get the butter all cut up and in the bowl with the mix, you just take a fork and just start kind of smashing it in. It's almost like you're making a pie dough. Okay, and you're supposed to use cold butter like you would with a pie dough. That way it melts in the mix as it's baking, and it makes these biscuits super moist and yummy, and they're just hard to believe they're keto. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate and you got to get in there with your hands, but you're basically getting it mixed into like kind of a sandy texture. I mean, it's already sandy because it's like flour-ish. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get what I'm saying. Those of you that have been out there doing that stuff before, just get the butter kind of mixed into it a little bit. Get your hands dirty.
Which you don't like doing.
No, I don't. But it was annoying me. So that's pretty good. It's starting to It's like wet sand. It's starting to clump together a little bit in some areas. So I'm gonna wash my hands, then we'll mix up the eggs and put them in. Get the eggs in the bowl so we can gently mix them up. Just give them a little swooshing. Okay, that's good. Then we just dump it in here. I'll use the fork to kind of mix it. Now we're adding in 3 cups of shredded cheese. We're using Mexican cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. Three cups-ish. It's never enough cheese. We're just gonna kind of give that a good spin around the bowl, just so the cheese incorporates with the biscuit mix. Whoops. Now we're gonna put in our meat. So what I would have done if I had not pre-seasoned my meat is I would have added the taco mix probably right into the breading mix. But I think in order to make it easier, just use leftover taco mix or leftover taco meat. I'm gonna do 3 cups of this. And then we're gonna take the green chilies for a little bit of kick. Feel free to substitute with whatever you might want to put in there. And we're gonna go about 3/4 of a cup. And then we're gonna stir that all together. And it looks like a giant mess. You have succeeded. So here we have our pan. We have our slop. So I just take this and I flatten it down, get it stuck to my thumb. Flatten it so that it's about even thickness all across, because then that way it bakes more evenly. It's like I'm pouring a sidewalk. At this point, it's totally up to you. You can throw it in there as is, or you can sprinkle a little extra cheese on top, which we know I'm a cheese hound, so we're gonna sprinkle a little extra cheese. Not a ton. I have learned some limits. There we go. We're gonna throw it in the oven for 20 minutes. I flubbed on my timing earlier for the amount of time in the oven. Is when I previously mentioned that I had made this before. I did it in a much smaller pan and about half of the ingredients. So 20 minutes in that pan was perfectly fine. This one needed about 30. And the great thing about this is pretty much everything's already made up. Like the taco meat was already made up, was pre-cooked, didn't need to worry about that, you know, temperature wise. And the rest of it is just the biscuit and melting the cheese. So super easy. Look at that. Look how good that looks. We're about to dig into it. This is why you want to let it cool a bit, because it's going to come out in a heap of what it looked like going in. This is what happens after you let it cool. If you're Greg, or if you're like Greg, you're going to want salsa on top of it. Possibly sour cream too. How much do you want?
A little bit.
Is that a little bit?
Yeah, that's fine.
Just putting sour cream on it. Just a dabble, do ya? Personally, I don't think you need sour cream because you've got the biscuit mix in there and the cheese, and that kind of like tamps down the spice.
Did you say tramps down?
Tamp.
Come on, guys. Who doesn't like salsa and sour cream on any sort of Mexican dish?
I think it stays pretty moist too.
So how come I got the mess and you get the...
Because I did all the work.
Oh.
So what do you think? Last time I made this, you didn't really get much because there wasn't much left.
It's good. I like the casserole and the flavors and simplicity of putting it all together in a pan and making it.
Yep. That's what I like. Dump it in, mix it up, dump it in something else, throw it in the oven, take it out, eat it. I mean, if you don't give a crap about what it looks like, by all means, don't let it cool off. Just dump it on a plate. Dump it in a bowl. If you end up trying this, let us know in the comments down below what you think of it. If you make any changes, I would love to know, because I actually have other ideas on different things that I can use that same biscuit mix for. I'm thinking like an Italian type one, because that seems to be my go-to, is like Mexican or Italian. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell so you're notified when we put out new videos every week, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see you in the next one. Just stand there and look pretty.
That's what you're doing?
No, that's what you need to do. Don't know how to run a camera.
No, it's facing away from me.
If you've been around here long enough, you know that we like Mexican dishes. It's a Mexican, bleh. Like Mexican dishes. That's usually my go-to. Simon, stop it. Did you like just take your shoes off or something?
Me? No. I have my shoes on. Why?
Because I smell stinky feet. Once you get the butter all cut up and in the pan, or in the bowl with the, these stuck together. In the...
Focus. Focus!
We're gonna... That didn't work out the way I wanted it to. We're gonna break in... It's been a minute since I filmed a video, can you tell? So we're ready to dump it in.
So many there's that's what she said jokes waiting to happen there.
If you want to get fancy, I could have gotten one of the ones that does the whole suction. Wait, no, it does do the suction. I could have gotten an electric one for like $40. But I didn't think we'd want to spend that for a camper corkscrew. Okay, so what's going on there? I mentioned previously the last...
I am present.
Pick up your...
My slop.